I'm Subhayu and I welcome you all to my today's video where I'll be guiding you through the basics of the AMCAT examination and thereby we'll be discussing few rules, regulations and certain topics which would be asked in the exam or required to clear the exam. Firstly, what is this AMCAT exam? Now, technically, the Aspiring Minds Computer Adaptive Test, AMCAT, is an adaptive computer test which measures the employability skills of a job candidate. Now, in interviews, okay, for interviews, there are so many candidates. So, what do the recruiters do to filter out the best ones? Is they go through the credentials of your competitive examinations, right? Similarly, even in our university, we have this examination which will be taken over multiple semesters, okay? Not just in third semester, but multiple times you have to appear for it. Then your scores will be, those will be filtered, and on basis of it you will firstly be divided into different sections, and next year onwards the sectioning will continue similarly. So for CSE, that is computer science engineering, what are the different modules? So your entire exam will be of 193 minutes, where that is approximately more than 3 hours. 180 minutes are 3 hours, so it's like 3 hours 13 minutes, where you will be having these many different topics. Okay, these are all different domains. Is it clear? So all these topics you need to be familiar with. So lucky for you, I have created a proper strategy which can help you cover the whole syllabus within just 4 weeks. Okay. So in my today's video, I'll be covering the topics which are under week 1, that is English, Quant, that is apt, quantitative aptitude, and logical reasoning or logic. Okay. Then again, next week we have programming, automata fix, and computer science. Third week we have automata hands-on and previous year AMCAT papers. And finally, mock tests, revision, write-text, and personality inventory dry runs. So, what are all those? That we'll discuss in the constituent weeks. Currently, I am more intent on beginning with the week 1. So, I hope my screen is visible. So basically, this is the syllabus for your exam. Okay. In English, you have these topics. Then logical reasoning, the topics are given here. And for quant or quantitative aptitude, you have these topics. So today's video will basically cover these three domains of your AMCAT exam. So let's review the contents in detail. Okay, I have curated a PDF file consisting of all the necessary resources to make you well acquainted with all the topics which are belonging to these three domains, that is English, Quant, and Logical. So, the first section is English. 18 Qs, 18 minute, and attempt minimum 14. What does this mean? This means you will have 18 questions in the question paper from this section, and you will have 18 minutes allocated. Now, this AMCAT is a computerized test, okay? So, timed, just like you have timed those things, right? Online exams. Similarly, AMCAT will also be a timed online exam, and every section will have a specified time bound. Now it's upon you to ensure that you complete all the sections in the allocated time in order to gain the best marks. Attempt minimum 14, that is आपको 18 questions में से बस 14 करना है, कोई भी 14 करने हैं, okay? And it's like saying कि out of 18, if you complete till number 14, automatically आप next section के लिए eligible हो जाओगे. You won't be shown question number 15. Is it clear? In case you answer all the first 14, then they'll assume that those are the 14 out of 18 which you want to answer. Now, what are the further subtopics within this English branch? First is reading comprehension. Questions based on a passage to test your understanding, inference skills, tone recognition, and vocabulary. So, here you will be given a passage to read quickly and get the gist, okay? Then skim for main ideas, scan for answers. Focus on the author's tone, purpose, and implied meanings. So, in reading comprehension, just like you have done in your school days, I believe, you will be given a specific comprehension passage which you have to read, understand, and then answer the questions which are asked. Okay, so as such, it's pretty like standard. Okay, not too easy, neither is too hard. Just like you should be cautious and very attentive. Up next, synonyms and antonyms. So, synonyms are words with similar meanings, that is, like happy is to joyful, and antonyms are the words with opposite meanings, example, generous to stingy. So, tips: learn root words and prefixes or suffixes, practice through vocabulary lists, and usage in context. Okay, so as such, synonyms and antonyms is something we all are well familiar with, but still sometimes tricky questions can be asked, so it was recommended to be thorough with the part. Okay, up next we have vocabulary usage in context. What does this mean? Understanding how words are used meaningfully within a sentence. So focus on the tone and situation to infer meanings. Learn words with examples, not just definition. Now, for example, the word about. About can be used in different ways, right? Firstly, about can be used to direct towards a specific cause. For example, today's session is about the different topics of the MCAT examination. Second usage is to describe a position. He drew a circle about the center. Now this doesn't mean कि उसने वो circle center के बारे में draw किया. No, it means he drew the circle around. So about is also used as a preposition. So be thorough with such words and understand the context and vocabulary. Okay. Sentence completion. Choose the right word or phrase to complete a sentence logically and grammatically. Understand context, tone, connectors, and eliminate illogical options. So sentence completion में क्या होगा? You will be given a starting of a sentence and you will be asked to complete it meaningfully and logically. Also, it must be kept as short as possible. Do not keep lengthening it unnecessarily. Up next, we have error identification or grammar. Spot grammatical errors in parts of a sentence. So, what are the common errors? Subject verb disagreement, wrong tense, incorrect prepositions, and redundancy or wordiness. So, we'll be exploring them all in the upcoming question bank section. Okay, I've curated certain questions to familiarize you guys well with what can be asked. Sentence improvement or correction: choose the best possible version of a sentence from the options given. Okay, we'll see that. Para jumbles: jumbled sentences to be rearranged into a meaningful paragraph. Now, imagine there's a paragraph which says, or number P, I go to school daily. Number Q, hi, I am Shubhayu. And number PQR, maths is my favorite subject. Let's just say. So, if we need to arrange this logically, so firstly, instead of telling where I go daily, I should introduce myself. So, the segment Q comes first. Ki, hi, I am Shubhayu. Then I go to school daily, and finally, maths is my favorite subject. Like that, we can arrange them. Up next, we have parts of speech such as tenses, articles, and prepositions. So look, ये सब आप पढ़ चुके हो already. There's nothing to prepare well. You just need to रिवाइज इट वंस, ओके। बिकॉज लाइक बेसिकली आपके फर्स्ट ईयर में कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स तो थी, बट उसमें ग्रामर का ज़्यादा, यू नो, there was no much practice of it. So just be thorough with the rules, okay? Because they sometimes do ask pretty tricky questions. So I eat, I ate, I will eat. These are the tenses, that is verb forms. Then articles, a, an, and the, and prepositions, that is show relation. Subject verb agreement, the subject and verb must agree in number. He eats, they eat. Now singular subject must have singular verb. Example, सिंगुलर वर्ब क्या होगा? इट्स लाइक ही ईट्स और he plays in the playground, he goes to school. And plural subject will have plural verb. Example, they go to school, they are attending a function, etc. Watch for collective nouns, okay? For example, like they ordered a cup of tea each, that way. Now this was all about English, okay? Now I'll be discussing the sample questions. So, what does the author imply by stating technology has outpaced our moral frameworks? So, actually, a paragraph might be given here. Here, I have not included it. So, what does this statement most familiarly correlate to? Option C, कि ethical understanding lags behind technological growth. Right. Because the statement suggests technology evolves faster than our ability to ethically manage it. Now it's quite obvious, like as and when new technologies come up, before we get a decent number of users, number of misusers increases by heaps and bounds. Now ChatGPT is used less for research, but more for editing pictures, okay, or just tampering with evidence, which is absolutely like unethical and should not be supported. Anyways, choose the synonym of ephemeral. It means short lived or momentary, similar to transient. So the correct answer is transient. Choose the antonym of dogmatic. So dogmatic means inflexible in opinion, and open minded is its opposite. So it must be open minded. The incessant noise from the construction site gave her a headache. What does incessant mean? It means continuous. Incessant refers to something continuing without interruption. Despite being a novice, she performed like a pro. Choose the best meaning of novice. So, the best meaning of novice is, of course, beginner. Though he clearly tried, he dashed to attend the meeting, refused, managed, declined, or postponed. You may think that all the four options will go with the, sentence. Then why is managed the correct? Because those signals contrast. He still managed despite being tired. Okay. The weather was so unpredictable that we had to dash our picnic, continue, prepare, finalize, or cancel. Next is identify the error. Each of the students are responsible for submitting the assignment. Now, mind you, each of the students is not plural because each is a singular. Okay, those students are plural, but if we take constituents of them, then those are singular. So each will be is. Now identify the error. He is good in playing chess. No, in will not be the correct preposition. At will be. He is good at playing chess. Okay. She seldom go to the gym these days. Goes. Subject verb agreement. They were discussing about the project. Now, which of these must be correct? Because they were discussing the project. Because about is redundant here. Okay, you don't need the word about here. Just exclude it. It's like saying the the bridge is very beautiful and magnificent. So you're already using an adjective to signify its beauty. So you don't need more. Okay. So just like reduce the redundancy and keep its length under control. Then we have arranged the sentences. So this way, this section is literally the easiest one. Okay, just keep your vocabulary on check. Rest is very easy. And I'm telling you, the remaining sections such as coding and all are going to make you, few min seconds because they need a lot of logic and proper prep. So let this section be a victorious one. Do the English part very well, because even if you don't do all parts well, ultimately just the average will be taken. So even if you do selective parts very well and some parts go down, still you will have a chance to make your way to the Cargill batch. Now what do we have next? We have quantitative aptitude. 16 questions, 20 minutes, attempt minimum 14. So here we'll have 20 minutes to do 14 questions. Okay, any two you can skip. Number system involves integers, whole numbers, natural numbers, even, odd, and prime composite. Covers divisibility rules, unit digit, remainders, and types of numbers, perfect, rational, and irrational. Common questions are usually from find number of factors, sum of digits, digital root, etc. LCM and HCF. LCM is the least number divisible by the given numbers. HCF is the greatest one. Time, speed, and distance. Understand the relation this. Convert the units properly, that is from kilometer per hour and meter per second. Time and work based on how much work one or more people can do in a given time. Deals with efficiency, man days, work sharing. Pipes and cisterns are a common variation. Profit and loss based on cost price, selling price, profit or loss, percentage, and discounts. Includes markup, successive discounts, and false weights. So these are topics which you are already familiar from the subject of aptitude. Up next, we have simple and compound interest. SI is linear, CI is exponential growth. Concept of compounding annually, half yearly, and quarterly, and questions also include difference between them both. Up next, we have percentages, basis of many other topics like profit loss, interest, and data interpretation. Key is converting between fractions and percentages quickly, and topics like population increase, decrease, results, and voting problems use these. So these are all high school or middle school math. Okay, nothing to learn, just to revise. Ratio and proportion shows comparison of quantities, includes direct and inverse proportions, used heavily in partnership problems, mixtures, and age related questions. Partnership problems like if Ram and Rakesh have 4 is to 5 shares over a property and Ram gets X plus 5, if the total amount is 16 lakhs, then uh, examine how much Rakesh would get. Such type of questions. So it's not so difficult. Averages represent the central value of a group. Average can be weighted or simple, and key tricks involve total. That is, average equal to total by number of terms. Okay. For example, if the average weight of 10 boys is 65 kg, okay, so average is 65, number of terms is 10, then total weight kitna hoga? 65 into 10, that is 650 kg is the total weight of the 10 boys. Mixtures and allegations. Now this allegation is not, complaint wala allegation. That allegation has an E in it, not an I here. This is the different allegation. This allegation is a shortcut for finding ratios in which items are mixed. Okay. And mixtures deals with mixing items of different values or concentrations. Permutation and combination. Permutation means arranging items where orders matter. Combination, selecting items where order does not matter. Focus on factorial logic, circular permutations, groupings. Okay. Probability deals with chances of an event occurring. based on favorable outcomes versus total possible outcomes. And mensuration concerns 2D and 3D shapes, focus on cube, cuboid, cone, cylinder, sphere, etc. Often includes converting one shape into another. Algebra, linear and quadratic equations. Linear, simple equations with one or two variables. Quadratic, polynomial equations with variables squared. Includes simplification, solving roots, and identity applications. And finally, geometry and trigonometry basic. Geometry includes lines, angles, triangles, circles, and polygons. Trigonometry is all about relationships between angles and sides in right triangles, and the basic values of sine, cos, tan, and identities are used. So, few sample questions from here as well. So, basically, here I have solved most of the questions, and here I have given one liner explanations, so you all have no difficulty in understanding them. Okay, just go through them properly and solve them all. And don't worry, even in the AMCAT exam center, you all will be provided with an A4 sheet and required stationery to solve such kind of numericals by hand. Okay, so as such, here time and work and all problems are here. You can do those. There are 20 problems which I have covered. Okay, so currently, due to some time constraint, I have another appointment after some time, so I'm just rushing a little bit. Still, I'm trying to ensure you all get most of the session. Third part is logical reasoning, where you will have 15 minutes to attempt 8 questions. On an average, you will get between 1.5 to 2 minutes for each question. Okay. Now, totally, there will be 12 questions, out of which only 4 you can avoid. So first part is data interpretation and sufficiency. Those of you are going to AIML or specialization, you will be getting a subject statistics for data science. DI or data interpretation is the root of statistics. So this usually deals with analyzing charts, tables, graphs, or sets of data to answer quantitative or logical questions. Data sufficiency tests whether the provided information is enough to answer a given questions even if you do not solve it properly, and focus on identifying what's needed, not solving everything. Number and letter series involves finding the pattern in a sequence of numbers or letters, may include arithmetic progression, geometric patterns, alternating series, and alphabetical shifts. Pay attention to differences, reversals, skips, or combinations of the patterns. Then, blood relations based on family relationships and logic. Common types, who is related to whom, find the correct relationship using clues. Create family trees or symbols to track relationships clearly. Direction sense, test your ability to visualize movement in a given direction. Involves left right turns, distance calculation, final direction or distance from the starting point. So you have to always consider the person's original facing direction. If required, you can use a rough sketch. For example, A is facing the north. He moves 10 meter to the left, 20 meter to the right, 45 meter north, etc. Find his final, either they will ask the distance covered or they will ask the direction he is facing at the end. Fifth is logical puzzles, usually paragraph based problems involving conditions and logic. Example, seating arrangement, floor puzzles, scheduling. Okay. So these are pretty interesting ones. So just with a little like tampering, you can do them properly. Coding decoding tests your ability to find logic behind coding a word number and decode accordingly. What are the different types? Letter shifting, symbol coding, mathematical logic, and substitution. So coding decoding me you will be getting something like if banana is written as abnab, then find the code for penguin. So you have to find कि banana और abnab में क्या similarity है. Okay. For example, if 5 is coded as 10, find the code for 12. So we see 5 into 2 is 10. मतलब 5 को हमने 2 से मल्टीप्लाई किया. सो अब हम 12 से भी 2 को मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे, हमें मिलेगा क्या 24. Now statement and assumption or conclusion. So statement and assumption में क्या होता है, identify what is assumed in a given statement. Okay. And statement and conclusion में judge which conclusions logically follow. Analogy, find the relationship between two elements and apply the same logic to another pair. Okay. So odd one out, find the element that doesn't fit the pattern or group based on logic, classification, arrangement, or sequence. And we have syllogisms, deductive logic using statements. You need to assess which conclusions follow. So, like this entire section is just very literary and numeric. So, you must be proficient in both aspects. Then we have cause and effect. Given two statements, you must decide if one causes the other. Options usually include A causes B, B causes A. Both are effects of a common cause or independent. Okay. So, for example, here my SGPA for 4 semesters are given. If represented on a pie chart, which semester would have the second largest sector? Mind you, not the largest, but second largest. So, we see in third semester I scored 8.96 and fourth sem 9.14. So, since third one is the second largest, so third is the second largest. And who is the largest? Fourth. Find the next number 4, 19, 4, 9, 19, 39, etc. So here we keep seeing this thing. Fill in the blank D, H, M, S, then what? So we can just see the pattern it has followed. Pointing to a woman, Ian says, she is the mother of my father's only sister's son. Okay. So father's sister's son. So sister's son's mother is father's sister. So how is the woman related to aunt? That means aunt. Sister's son's mother is the aunt, na? So it has to be his aunt, Ayan's aunt. A person walks 5 kilometers north, turns right, walks 3 kilometer, turns right again and walks 5 kilometers. So he is again 3 kilometer away from the starting point. Actually, you might feel this is a printing error, but no, it isn't. This option is 3 kilometer west and this is 3 kilometer east. However, those words didn't get printed. 5 students A, B, C, D, and E are sitting in a row. A is to the left of B, so it can be like A, B, but to the right of C, C, A, B. D is not at the ends. Who is in the middle? So we can be like C, A, B, D, E. So, like, yeah, this can also be, but D is not at the end. So, how is C in the middle? So, if brain is coded as CSBJO, how is think coded? So, here we can just correlate brain to this. Key plus one of everything here is this. So, T plus one is U, H plus one is I plus one is J, N plus one is O, and K plus one is L. Statement assumption 1, assumption 2, then mango is to fruit, then potato is to root, product, not vegetable. Okay. Choose the odd one 9, 16, 39, 36, 49, 81. X 16 because this is 3 square, this is 6 square, this is 7 square, this is 9 square. Okay. So, like sometimes erroneous questions are there. You might even have seen this during EST. That is just so that nobody is getting like total marks. Okay, there's always scope for improvement. Then we have question 11 here. Then 12, these are all relation and cause based. Then 13, 14, a boy is facing west. Where is west? Left. So west, say he again turns left, that is bottom. Walks 5 kilometers. Then he turns right. He is facing the south now. So from there he turns right and walks 3 kilometers. So he is facing south, then moves forward. A is B's son. B is C's daughter. D is C's father. So how is A related to D? Great grandson. Four people live on four different floors of a building. A lives above B, C lives above A, D lives below B. Who lives in the top? C. If word is decoded as 23, 15, 18, 4, how is math encoded this way? So this is plain alphabetical logic, nothing extraordinary. Then all who score above 8.5 are eligible for honors. So Rahul will get honors. Rahul's SGPA is 9.14. Only two, because only two is factual, one is assumed but not stated here. Okay. And 20, choose the odd one. Triangle, rectangle, hexagon, and circle, because only circle has no particular number of sides. Rest all of them do. Okay. So, with this, we come to the end of our today's discussion. So, today we have covered English, we covered quant, and we covered logical. So, next video will be about these three topics: programming, automata fix, and computer science. Okay. In automata fix, you will be given a code which is erroneous and you need to correct it. And in automata, you need to write the whole code yourself. Two or three questions will be given and you need to design a code for it. Okay. Computer science will consist of questions from operating systems, DBMS, etc. Those I'll guide you. And programming is all data structures and all. So it will all gonna be fine. So thank you all. Hope this video was clear to you. And in case of any doubts, reach out to me using those of you have my contact details, it's fine. And those of you don't, you can just reach me out through my YouTube channels, comment section or community section. Okay. So thank you. Goodbye. Stay blessed.